Hello viewers, today for refurbishing I have a RadioShack or Uniden made RadioShack branded telephone. This is a 5.8 gigahertz. It would be called PowerMax if Uniden made it. It's a model RadioShack 43143. It's a Uniden True 8 something or other. Don't remember. Anyways, if you've come to this video looking for information on the registration process, either deregistering handsets from the base, clearing out old registrations, adding new handsets, etc., I do know how to do that. I'm not going to cover it in this video. I'm going to make a separate video for that eventually. But if you're looking for that information, I do have it, so you can send me a message if I haven't made the new video yet, and I can fill you in on the convoluted process of doing that. Anyways, we're pretty much just going to do a basic refurbish on this. All the buttons seem to work just fine, so there's no real repairs. Even the, miraculously enough, even the center navigation button still works. So that looks to be okay. I think this battery has probably seen better days. This is from 07, so it's 9 years old. Probably going to replace that. I think I have some spares on hand. So yeah, that's about it. The cordless phone, the corded phone works fine as well. Just needs a good cleaning. So I think I would start with the handset. Oh, and also I have to see if I have a proper adapter floating around somewhere, because I only have the adapter for the handset. I'm not sure what happened to the adapter for the base. I bought this a long time ago, and I think it was one of those things where it was just a parts lot, so I may never have had it. I'll have to look around. Anyways, let's begin the process of disassembling the handset. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is open up the cover. I'm going to take out the battery. I'm not sure if this is original or not. It very well may be, actually. I won't toss it out yet because I'm not sure if it's bad. I'm just pretty sure it probably is. It's sat for a while. Now we have two screws here at the bottom, which I will undo. And now we can begin the so thrilling process of splitting this open. If you've watched any of my prior videos, you will know this is my least favorite part of the entire repair, because you got to be very careful, but at the same time you have to be a little bit forceful sometimes to get this to really come apart. Okay. So here's the internals. That's interesting. I'm not too sure what's going on there. I'll have to see how to get that apart. This is the antenna. Very strange design. Kind of a lousy design, because a lot of times when you hold this, it gets blocked, or it gets blocked from your head. But it's a typical imitation of an internal antenna. So this is kind of bizarre in here. I'm not exactly sure how this comes out. Okay, I'll start with undoing this screw. Phew, that was almost not good. haven't been inside one of these in a long time. These are pretty reliable phones. I don't get them in here too often. Okay, it looks like that's going to undo something on the back here. Maybe this back cover. Here we go. Is it? Looks like that's going to come off. And this, maybe the speaker comes out that way. Ah, there we go. Okay. Nice big speaker in these things. Alright, so if you're going to tell me that the speaker does not come out, I'm going to have a little outburst here. Okay, that's really quite obnoxious. So it looks like I'm going to have to unsolder this stupid thing. Tisk. Well, let's see here. Alright, I'm gonna have to unsolder that speaker because, yeah, that seems to probably be the best way to do it, unless I just, you know what? Let me think of what's the best way to do this. Okay, so I am going to unsolder that. I think that's because it's going to be the easiest and cleanest way to do that. So now to remove the internal board while I wait for the iron to get up to temperature, I'm going to undo these 3 screws here. Hopefully they didn't play any more games and this board will just lift up. Yep, they played more games. I gotta undo this portion of the board as well. I think there's another screw somewhere under here. Oh, there we go. That wasn't so bad. Okay. So let's see what we have in here. We have... This is a really ridiculous design. I'm not sure why they decided to do this, but all the... Oh, gross. All the buttons, well, the numeric keys and the soft keys are on this pad, which is fine because this is just another layer of protection from all that junk that gets in there. Center navigation button does not have that. Now, interestingly enough, and this is really quite bizarre, if you look at this very closely, you'll see that everything is dirty but the center navigation button. Actually, those aren't dirty either. That's just really strange. I don't think I've ever seen that before. But this is pretty nasty, so we're going to give that a good clean. This also needs some cleaning, and I'll clean this thing off because it's getting a little dirty, and of course we'll clean this off as well. And unfortunately this thing is pretty beat up, but it'll work just as well. So clean this and this. Now let's see if my solder iron here is up to temperature or not. I really can't believe they designed it this way. That was really stupid. It's just a really lousy design. Not very serviceable, and I don't like things that are not serviceable. Okay, let's see here. I think I should have plugged this thing in somewhere else. Okay. So, I'll turn this off, and I can pull this out now. So I'm going to go around and I'll set this aside, keep that up there. We're going to clean this in a minute. It's not too bad, but we'll always give it a good clean. Now actually this one, and this is a testament to the quality of these telephones, These actually use what I believe are gold contacts. Usually they're like carbon or something like that. So these are, these are good phones, and they cost quite a bit back in their time. Even today, these things still go for quite a bit. That's all been cleaned. So now, it's turned out pretty good. So now, what I will do is I will quickly clean off the board, clean off the contacts, just because that's always a good idea. And then I have to put the speaker back on, and we can reassemble the handset. Okay, and nothing really came off there. I didn't expect there to be. Alright, so now this thing's as clean as I want it to be, so I'm going to get the solder iron warmed up, and then we can carry on with the repair. Okay, that should be hot enough, so going to feed the wires back through here. I can't believe they made this like this. That's ridiculous. Really, really ridiculous. Okay, and we're just going to reconnect this back onto there. That should suffice. So now I'll zoom this out, and I really would like to do a quick test on that and make sure that's working. So I'm going to plug this in, and I just realized the buttons aren't in place, so this should be interesting. I'm going to plug this in. I just want to see if I can get one beep out of it. Yep, it's working. Okay. Alright, so let's put this back on. This goes like this. Don't really like that, but okay. Now you got a little rubber ring that goes inside of here. And then the speaker just kind of rests in there. And I'm not really liking the way that works, but and that's it. That's the speaker back in place. So, turn the soldering iron before I manage to burn myself somehow. Let's put this screw back in the top. Okay. So now, this is a little bit interesting too. So, first that goes on is that. That's right. And then there is a spring. Let's get this out of the way. There's a spring that goes on here. And then this goes on. And then this goes on. Black dots facing out, or towards the electronics board. And then we should be able to just kind of dump this whole thing into here without that spring coming out, preferably. Okay, let's see if I was successful. I was. Okay. Good. So now we can begin reassembly. Put these two screws in the top. And actually I'm going to stop right there and check it out again. Make sure everything's okay and all the buttons are working and whatnot. Base is not plugged in, so it's not going to connect. Ah! Low battery! Alright, I think that's... No, actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to whip out a test battery here. Because I don't want to assemble this whole thing and then find out it doesn't work. This is an EBL battery. Not a big fan of those. Well, I shouldn't say that. I haven't really used them at length, but they seem like they're kind of cheesy. This is only 800 milliamps. Normally these could be like 1,000. Of course these have a better price, but anyways, I haven't really I'll make more comments on that once I test those for a while. Okay, it's working. Actually, I may use this this battery in this telephone. It's not exactly the same size, and this is a 909. Nope, this is a 446, and this is a 909, maybe. I don't know, this doesn't actually have a model number on it. But it's the same thing in a slightly different size. Anyways, let's put the rest of these screws on here. Whoops. Okay, that should be it for the handset. Snap this all back together before something bad happens. And that's it. Make sure the button's pressed and everything is good. I'm actually going to pair up the base for a minute here because I want to make sure everything in there is working. And I'll plug in a phone line as well. Whoops. Jeez. Okay. So we get the test battery back in here. And Turn this on. Not yet. Still waiting. It's working. Why do we have speakerphone here? Oh, I think we're on the wrong line. There we go. Okay. All these buttons are working just fine. Just do a test intercom. Alright. Cool. Let me get this phone line unplugged here. I'm going to be holding up my line in case somebody wants to call me. And okay, so let's put the last 2 screws in the handset, and then we can be done with the handset. And okay, here we go. It's 1 screw. And after this handset, I think I'm going to do the cradle, because that should be fairly easy. And then I will have to good golly, what is going on with this screw? After that, I'll have to do the main base. And that may be a little bit more complicated because there's a fair bit of electronics in that main base. But it should be doable nonetheless. I don't think I've ever been inside one of those, so that'll be an interesting experience. Okay, and I'm not going to put either battery in there for now. Close that back up, and there you have it. There's the handset. The heck? Oh. Okay. Alright, so now let's take a look at this cradle. Get all these batteries out of here. That's, I gotta keep this one separate because this is a new one. Now, that one's, okay. So let's see what we have for the cradle here. Looks like we have 1 screw underneath here, so we'll open this up. And my hope is that this just kind of pops open fairly easily. Yep, perfect. Alright, so we can let's wash that, and this is pretty nasty, so we'll wash this as well. Unfortunately, this gets all scratched up because it's not really designed correctly. They should make this finish, this surface that gets contacted out of a non-scuffable finish, but they never seem to do that. They make it out of a shiny plastic or a, something that is painted and it wears off or whatever. Alright, this I think just kind of slides out of here. And these come off like this. And this just comes out of here. Very simple battery charger in there. I'm not sure if this comes out or not. I'd rather it just stay there, and I think that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to go wash this out and we'll be back. Alright, that was clean. That was pretty painless. Now I'll put this equipment back in here. Actually, before I do that, let's clean these contacts off because it's landslides easier to clean this when these are not inside something. And while we're on contacts, I'll do these too. These are easy enough to clean, while the thing's together. Okay. So now I'll put this back in here. Actually, it goes this way. Third. Getting the second one of these out is always interesting. That actually was pretty easy. Let's make sure this is okay. Put these, uh-oh. Okay, no sneeze. Now let's seat this in here correctly. Otherwise we're going to have a fun time plugging in the power cord. Okay, there we go. Oh man, I just put the fan on. I was kicking up all that dust. Ugh. That's what that obnoxious whirring sound is. Maybe I should turn that off. Okay, so now let's check this cradle and make sure that it works. though I don't really see any reason why it wouldn't. And it works. Okay, good. So now I'm going to plug in the battery, and I'm going to let this sit here and charge so I can see if this needs to be replaced or not. And it's getting tangled with the soldering iron. Oh, what a freak show. Hold on a minute. Okay, so now we're going to look at the base here. I'll unplug this. And I'm going to have to move this up a little bit because it doesn't even fit in the picture. I'll remove the handset cord, and I'll probably put a different cord on this when I use it because this one is not really retracting correctly. So we'll just do a surface wash of this because I don't see any relatively easy way to take this apart. There may not be any way. Now on the back of the base here, next we're going to have 6 screws to undo. Hopefully they're all the same size. They seem to be. Huh? There we go. Sometimes these ones that are deep in there are a little bit hard to get the driver on. Let's see if those will come out of there. And we got 2 of them. Where's number 3? Oh, it's the pesky one. Alright, whatever. Let's see here. Okay, this is going to split relatively easily. Let's see here. Is this, I think... Is this a plug? Don't know. And it ain't worth finding out. I'll just deal with it as it is. So we got plenty of screws. Actually, I gotta get the screw board out for this. It's a very useful thing to have. This is a magnetic board. And what you use this for is you can take the screws out and you can put them in the pattern that they came out in. So it saves a lot of frustration when you're putting it back together. And it helps to prevent things from getting lost, which is never good. Actually, I think these screws are all going to be the same size. Okay, now we'll do this side. Clearly this board is a fair bit more complex than that one. Actually, you know what? I think there's really no reason to undo this one. I will just clean this portion, because this is the part that has, this is all that I want to clean, you know, wet with water, because it's got the button and everything. So, alright, so I'll strip this apart, and that's pretty nasty. We'll clean that up. See if we can get this in view here. Yeah, alright. Turns out these do actually come apart. Supposedly there's screws under here. So I'm going to see if I can get this apart to clean it, because it is a little bit nasty. Not quite sure. There we go. Okay, so now we have two screws that we have revealed, which can likely be undone to take apart the handset. And that would be really great if that's the case. There you have it. So now I can clean this, as I hoped I'd be able to. Yeah, the lock washer's on there. Test. I was hoping I'd be able to do this without taking all the screws out, but guess not. Okay. Okay, so now I can wash this as I wanted to before. Okay, so the cleaning process has finally come to a close on this thing. So I'm going to take the handset and reassemble it now. Okay, I think this goes like this. It's inconceivable because it wouldn't fit that way. It wouldn't fit that way. I think it went like this. And hopefully these sticky things will still stay in place. I'm not sure if these are like single-use kind of things, or if they can be reused. But I'll put them back on here, and we'll see what happens. I think that should probably stay. Alright, so that's all cleaned. Now what I will do is I'll begin to reassemble this. This looks like it'll be just thrilling to put back together, because there's a lot of little miscellaneous buttons here and there. Let's give this something to focus on. And we have 3 directional, actually those aren't directional, they don't do anything keys. They're just soft keys. Leave those go up there at the top like that, yep. And then we have the speaker button, whoa. It's a little bit slick. And then actually I think that wasn't too bad. I thought there was more loose ones than that. Okay, yep, that's all right. So now, put this back in place, which is the conductive material, and then we can begin to put this board back together. Okay, and there's no reason to watch me put all these screws in, so I'll cut this part out. Okay, that's all back together. Take a look at the transmitter really quick. I actually think this is the same transmitter that's situated inside the handsets. That would make sense for a number of reasons to me. Anyway, so let's close this up. And actually there is one more thing that I want to do. Let's make sure all these buttons are working. Okay. There's one more thing I want to do to this base before I call it finished. So I'm going to put the screws in the base, and then we'll be back. Okay, so actually I'm going to go and wash off this cord the best I can, then we'll test it. Okay, the cord is cleaned. Actually, this cleaned up fine. I may keep using it. So let's put some power to the base. Plug in my line here. And turn that down so we don't go deaf. And I'll plug in the handset. Hopefully nobody's trying to call me right now. Okay. So now I will do a test call. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Alright, let me call myself and leave a voicemail. Okay, that all checked out good. So let's get rid of line 2 here. So now, one thing I want to do before let me just check this also. That works. Okay. So I want to try to take some of these scratches out. There's one that's particularly noticeable. See it pretty well now. I'm going to take some brass polish. I'm going to see if I can remove that. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. But it'll never work if you don't try it, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to shake this up here. Yeah, I can't get it open. There we go. Okay, so there's the polish. And I'm going to see what we can do here. Oops. Well, it certainly made it a lot less noticeable. It's still there, but doesn't really interfere with reading the screen. I'm going to try one more time, and then that'll be satisfactory as far as I'm concerned. Whoops, I snapped over some spoiled batteries. And there goes our lovely background theme sound. Clean up here a little bit too, because there's some more junk on here. Alright, so that came out reasonable. It's really not that noticeable anymore.
Please select line.
I don't want to select any lines, I just want to clean them. Alright, so there we have it. That is, that's pretty good. The handset is not in the greatest of condition, but it's good enough to use. So, I'm going to call this unit repaired. And I'm going to install this upstairs on my desk because I'm in need of a 2-line phone now. So, this will be it. Thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, and out. A while ago somebody sent me this adapter by mistake, and they didn't want it back, so I kept it, and I was going to sell it, and I says, you know, I better hold on to it. So I stuffed it in the closet for how many years, thinking I'd never use it. Well, guess what? It's going to use now, and that is why I always hold on to stuff.